Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to draw supply curves from supply functions, or alternatively you might call them supply equations. And this can be a bit tricky because our supply curves might come out like this, where we have a positive price axis intercept, or they might come out like this where we have a positive quantity axis intercept. Now in this second case, it is implied that the price is equal to 0 for these first units. So the supply relationship is actually first flat and then slopes upwards like the red line here. But typically the equation that you will be given will not describe the flat section, rather it will just describe the line that has a positive quantity axis intercept. So how do we draw these guys from supply equations? Well, let's say we had this supply equation here. So quantity supplied is equal to 2 times the price minus 40. We first need to check whether we have a positive price axis intercept or a positive quantity axis intercept. And you might be able to see from the equation which one we have, in which case great. But if you can't, the strategy is just to set one of our variables equal to 0, and that will indicate what's going on. And this is because at our axis intercepts, one variable is equal to 0. So at the quantity axis intercept, price is equal to 0, and at the price axis intercept, quantity is equal to 0. So in my example, let's say I set price is equal to 0, I get quantity supplied is equal to 2 times 0 minus 40, so that's just quantity is equal to minus 40. So I know from that negative figure there that my supply line does not have a positive quantity axis intercept. And it follows from that I probably have a positive price axis intercept. So I can check my price axis intercept by setting quantity supplied is equal to 0. And I get 0 is equal to 2p minus 40. So if I add 40 to both sides, that's 40 is equal to 2p. And I divide both sides by 2, so p is equal to 20. And I've confirmed that in this case, I have a positive price axis intercept. Now I should say there is a third case if your supply equation has no constant, so you have QS is equal to 2p or QS is equal to p or something like that, there's no constant. That means that the supply curve will go through the origin. So your intercept is just where both quantity and price is equal to 0. For our case though, we have established that we have a positive price axis intercept. So if I draw out two axes, and I always have price on the vertical axis and quantity supplied on the horizontal axes, and if I mark that price axis in as 20, it looks like this. The next thing we need to do though is determine the rest of the shape of our line, because one point will not be enough to define the shape properly. So our shape could go through like this, or this, or this, we just don't know. So we need one other bit of information about the curve, and this will help fix our shape. Now, everywhere I've taught, it's okay to do this either by finding one other point on the curve or just identify the slope. If you want to find the slope, the easiest way, for me at least, is just to rearrange our supply function until the price variable is on the left-hand side. So with this function to do this, I can first add 40 to both sides, and then I divide both sides by 2. So I get P is equal to quantity supplied divided by 2 plus 20. And the coefficient on the quantity variable will be our slope coefficient. So in this case, it's equal to 1/2. Now, just to note, putting the price variable on the left-hand side puts the form of our equation so that it's analogous to y is equal to mx plus c. And hopefully you remember this from high school, m is the slope. Here though, we don't have y, we have p, and we don't have x, we have q. And so the coefficient on q is like the coefficient on x. That's why 1/2 here is the slope. So if we draw all that out, it might look something like this. Now, alternatively, you can pick another point and anchor the shape of that curve to that second point. And that second point could be just a random price, or perhaps a random quantity, or perhaps you might have a reason to choose one point over another. So if you have the equilibrium price, for instance, that would be a nice second point to anchor your line. In our example though, I have no reason to choose any point over another, so I'm going to think what happens to our supply when the price is 60. So I substitute 60 into our function, and I find that quantity supplied is equal to 2 times 60 minus 40. So 120 minus 40 is equal to 80. If I put that second point on our diagram, the supply curve would look like this. So either method should be okay. Of course, if your teacher has any preferences, you should just go with those. Otherwise, I hope that helps. That's it for this video. If the video helped, please like and subscribe. You can also now visit my website, www.econhelp.com.au. Through that site, you can access additional resources for your studies, including additional downloads and practice questions. So it's good if you want more practice, or alternatively, if you would like to support this channel. Thank you so much for watching my content. Hope you guys have a great day.